listen to that last performance, and then we're gonna come back and do it again, and again, and again. I think we've got it.
This season for me is a test of one's faith. Whatever happens, I accept because that's what's meant to be.
Welcome back to Inside the Rings of Power. We're joined by composer Bear McCreary and episode 6 director Sanaa Hamri.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fans are 6 episodes in with only 2 left before the end of season 2. What are your favorite Middle-earth locations to play in?
Gosh, I love all of Middle-earth, so it's like really hard, but I will say this, like I really enjoyed playing in Adar's world with the orcs, but also I thought introducing the world of the Stoors and how Nori and Poppy got to see others living differently than themselves. It was just fun all around.
There's a lot of searching for home, and that's the theme that's kind of carried on from season 1 into season 2. And so then coming into the Stoor village, beginning to understand that is the home that we kind of could have had, but we never got.
The Harfoots aren't lost, they just don't actually have a home. It's not about finding what is already out there for them, it's about creating it and building it. And this is a really big realization she has in this season.
Rune has never been adapted to the screen, so I brought in a Bulgarian women's choir, which is the coolest sound ever. When we cut to Rune and you hear these women singing and this vibrato that's so alien and strange and beautiful and evocative, that's a Bulgarian women's choir. So that was a blast.
Bear, do you have any settings that speak to you more than others?
I mean, I'm like a kid in a candy store getting to write music for Middle-earth. When I sat down to write music for the dwarves, it happened so fast, I felt like it must be in my DNA.
I feel just the look of things, you're a little more elvish, I have to say, with the hair. But,
that works too, that can totally work. And I'm just gonna get the ears and then I'm good to go.
On. So are there any little Easter eggs that you've dropped in this season?
I'm always littering Easter eggs in my music. One of the great things about establishing a theme, people get to know it. That means they know when something is amiss. One of the things I love about Sauron's scenes is I score him from his own perspective. When we're in his head, he's not the antagonist of his story, he's the protagonist. There are many places where his theme takes on a very wise, ethereal, divine, peaceful tenor. And I think it's a cool way of subliminally telling the audience something's amiss here.
Yeah.
How fares your progress?
And he's a dangerous character, and we're like, ooh, I kind of like what he's up to.
I know.
And that's like, you seduce us with the music, with Anatar.
That's the danger, is that he is so seductive.
Yes.
And one of the things I love about the sparring matches between Celebrimbor and Anatar, it's the vulnerability that makes it relatable.
I assure you, I have the affairs of the city well in hand.
I should decide that for myself.
You belong in here, friend.
I believe I've had quite enough of you telling me where I belong.
And the vulnerability with Celebrimbor, it's not even his ego, he wants to do something good, and the score warms him up. But what it's really doing, it's opening up for the body blow.
Yeah.
Right, because in Anatar, it's like, there's the weak spot, spear goes in, he's hooked.
And there is, just to pop in on, there is that marriage between music and camera movement when we have Anatar outside, and it's like daytime. When I read the scene, I could see this move around Anatar as a turn from day to night. And then it like followed him, and then he went into slow motion, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those epic moments for Sauron.
There is one other fun little Easter egg in that moment, and this was J.D.
I knew it.
J.D. Payne thought of this. So Sauron walks to the parapet, he kind of raises his hands.
Yes.
And JD goes, what if he's like an orchestra conductor? What if you like heard the orchestra like tuning up? And I was like, you mean literally? So every day of orchestral recording, we've been recording the orchestra tuning up. On top of the score, when he does this, you're gonna hear the orchestra going from this dissonant, out of tune cluster into this unison texture. It's literally telling you he has conducted the events that are unfolding.
know, tell us about Muriel's trial by abyss. I heard that there were some very challenging conditions under which you shot this.
Well, Trial by Abyss was a big feat. To do anything with such ambition requires communicating with the team. We have such a great team on the show. It's a little hard because we're working with the elements and weather. It was challenging yesterday because it was completely wavy and the tide was in. So now it's like baby bath water and very safe. So when you're shooting water shots in like raw locations like this one, you can't really take the actor and throw them in the deep sea. So we go into a tank, which we did at Pinewood, and we do all the elements that we can work with her slowly, like close-ups underwater.
Ready, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
When everyone talks about this show, including you two, it's the joyful spirit of artistry and creativity just abounds. I could talk to you each for hours more, but we have to go. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your time and your artistry. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo.
The end of episode 6 is the beginning of a major siege on Eregion. We'll be here to take you inside the action with an incredible packed lineup of guests, including a couple of our favorite elves and the leader of the orcs. We'll see you next week after the next episode of The Rings of Power.
Nothing else matters.